Everyone today. How's everyone's weekends going? I'm good, thank you. Okay. What's everyone up to today or tonight? What's easy? It sounds good. Relaxing. Okay. Fair enough. So a birth chart tells you. So a birth chart gives you a snapshot of. Is my mic working properly? A snapshot of the time when you were born. So we usually like to go by the exact time to the hour and to the minute if possible, because then we can look at exactly where all the planets were when you were born, what your rising sign is, which is what sign was rising on the horizon when you were born, and yeah, it gives us a snapshot of your of the sky when you were born, and then we can basically see how the planets affect you. And then and then as we move through life, the planets go through transits and change, and they affect us depending on how they were from when they were in our birth chart, basically. So, yeah, when we look at the birth chart, we can get an idea of who you are and what you're about, and sort of like, and also a bit about what your purpose is, or even what you need to heal or what you need to do. But a birth chart is a very basic layer. It's the first layer. So we look at a birth chart, but then we can look at, in a deeper reading, we can look at progress chart, which is as you have each year of life, the planets from your birth chart will move 1 degree, and then we can look at how you change and grow and evolve throughout your life in that way. And then we can look at how the transits affect like your birth chart and the progress chart, solar arc charts, and like so many different things. And you can pinpoint things from, like, you can look back and see what's happened to someone in life and pinpoint things in life that have happened to them, or you can see in the future as well and see things that may happen to them depending on what's going to happen on the transits, because the planets go in cycles just like the moon, and they repeat things. So every, like, you know, depending on the planet, 10, 25, 1 year, whatever it is, cycles will come back, and the same things will happen. And different planets will align at different times too. So different things that happened at different times when they were at that same point will come together as well. So, an eclipse season is when basically a whole bunch of eclipses like happen one after another and trigger a whole bunch of stuff. So the first one is happening tomorrow, and it's happening in the sign of Gemini. An eclipse is when the sun and the moon are either, there's a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. So the solar eclipse is when the sun is, when it's the new moon basically, and the sun is hiding the moon. So on a new moon, and also when the north node, the south node is in alignment with that. And when tomorrow we have a lunar eclipse in the full moon in Gemini, and so the north node is there in Gemini, and that's what creates the eclipse, because the node is there with the current moon. And the nodes are sort of like hidden aspects of the moon. They're like a point where that moves around every 18 months, changes signs, and they trigger like huge things like in like the world, like within ourselves, and they sort of can bring up a lot of dark stuff, but they bring up a lot of stuff to make us like transform and like be able to move through things and shift things. Eclipses are like portals basically, and they open up energy so that we can move through into like a new energy or dimension or shift basically, so we can evolve. So there's like heaps of information with like ancient civilizations that like didn't look at the eclipse when it was happening, but then you'll see a lot of people go out and especially like go to see the eclipse when it's happening, but then they saw it as being evil and bad and you shouldn't be looking at it. So there's like many sides to that as well with eclipses. But they bring life-changing things to our life. So they bring sometimes breakdowns, but which brings us then to breakthroughs. So when we look at it in the chart, we can see where that's going to be happening through for you, where you'll be having possibly a breakdown and a breakthrough, or maybe even just one or the other. Depends what lesson you have to learn or what you have to get through and how you have to evolve through the situation, or like where you are and what you're doing. If you're someone that's like closed off and isn't open to growth and doesn't want to learn or doesn't want to like change themselves in any way or whatever, and for whatever reason that is, then you might just have the breakdown and not the breakthrough. So but I mean, for someone who's like on their path and in alignment and where they should be and everything else and all that, they might have the breakthrough only, or someone might have both because that's what they need to go through. So it just depends. And with astrology too, and the time you're born, we can look at your chart and just see the different areas of your life and what's happening in them as well. So yeah, I hope that explains it a little bit for you. It can get quite complex, but it can be really basic too. So yeah. So if anyone would like a chart reading, you just need to post your date of birth, time, birth time and birth location. You can do it in Discord, whisper it, or do it in chat here. And then we can bring up your chart and have a look. If you whisper it, we can keep your details private and just bring up your chart and look at it and go from there. Oh, awesome, Tazzy Devil. Okay, let me bring up the Feng Shui Bagua so that we can show you the area of your house that you need to work on to improve that. Okay, so Feng Shui, I'm not sure if you know, but it's all about basically having like good balance and harmony and flow throughout the house so that there's good energy and chi flowing throughout the house, which like brings us good things and helps us to attract good things in like those areas of our life. And the same thing with like astrology, the Bagua, the parts, different areas of the home represent different areas of our life. So I'll just bring that up and we can have a look. Okay. Okay. Okay, so when we're looking at health, we want to be focusing on where it says family and health, those two areas of the home. So when you're looking at your front door and looking towards the back of your home, you want to be looking, so where it says the main entrance, so that's the front door, the left, which is wisdom, and the right, which is helpful people. One of those would normally be someone's garage. Not everybody has a square house or a rectangle home, and some people have an L-shaped house. And if you have an L-shaped house, for example, this is usually that area that is cut out in that L shape, is something where you need to put remedies or really enhance that area to heal that missing part, because that can like bring issues or problems or make that part of life more complicated or whatnot. So the square is always relevant, but our house is obviously a different shape, so it's just that's the overlay of the house and the area. So, you know, someone might have like a kitchen and dining room that's all in one whole area, you know, or across, you know, a kitchen that's across two or whatnot. So it just means that they're you know, that's the area. They'll basically split that area in half, or try and put both those colors into that area, whatever you can do depending on the space. Your space is small, so it doesn't matter, because you can use this based on like a bedroom too. Like if you were doing this just on a room, then for example, if we're talking about love and relationships, which is the far right corner, which is the northeast side of the home, you would put something in that room in that far right top corner. Again, the bedroom door would be the main entrance, so going from there, and then that, yeah, I mean the door's not always going to necessarily be you know, where the career spot is too. The door could be where the wisdom spot is or where the helpful people are, but that's the front part there. And the same with the bedroom, so you would do the front right back part of the bedroom. Hi, Star Called Ash. Thank you for the stream raid last night. Oh, no worries. Thanks for coming by. I hope you had a really good stream. It seems like you were doing pretty well and getting pretty popular, so I hope it continues for you. Yeah, so it was amazing for my first stream. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad that like you got in with the tarot community and they welcomed you really well, so that's awesome. Oh, Shredder, Reiki healing. Okay, we will do that for you very soon. Okay, so now looking at health and family, Tassie Devil. So you would need to enhance those areas, and you can do that in the way of exactly what it says. So in the sort of yellow area, you do things like earthy things, anything that like represents earth, and like you can do things like plants, you can put any parts of like nature in, anything that sort of represents earth to you. And in the family section too, things that are wood and earthy, green, again like plants. You can also put things of color in these rooms. Or you can put things of like nature too, in a sense of like pictures and drawings and paintings. It doesn't have to be actually something physical if you can't put something physical in there. Also in these areas you could put like, you could make sure that you do things of like really good health in there. So somewhere that you do some exercise or some yoga or something of health related in there. Like you could be eating healthy meals in this area, but you've got to do something to bring in the energy of good health in that area too. So it could be meditating in there. Like I said, it could be doing yoga. It could just be doing some kind of exercise. It could be doing something like physical or dancing even, or something that like brings that health sort of energy and that like enhances that chi basically. and gets like it flowing and moving, because especially if that's middle section, the health, that's like the heart. It's the heart of the chi. So it's the heart of the home. It's like where the main chi flows through to sort of most areas of the other parts of the house. And then putting things like yellow things in that area too, like you can hang things, or you can like, again, put like pictures or drawings of things, figurines, anything that represents like family and health in those areas. But that green section too is really important for health, because there's both types of health in that family and that health section. There's your inner health, there's the outer health, and they both come in those two areas, and you have to enhance the green section as well. The green is really important, and the most important thing with Feng Shui too is decluttering. So you need to make sure these rooms are not cluttered, they're not messy, that the chi or the energy can flow through really well. You can move around easily in the rooms. Even if you do have a small space, you need to be decluttered and make the most of the space that you have. There's many ways to do it these days, you know, space-saving things, but it's so important. Like, it just makes such a difference, like, to not be cluttered. It's like when we have an organized desk or something like that, it's like it keeps our mind not cluttered, sort of thing. So it's the same thing as, you know, different parts and areas of our home. The other thing is too, to make sure that you don't put like the negative and opposite things in these rooms, so like metals, that sort of thing, or like the other harsh colors. Like, you wouldn't be wanting to put like blacks or purples or pinks or whatnot in these rooms, because then you're going to bring in those, I mean, you can, it doesn't matter, but you want to enhance those other colors more and then not be dominated by those other colors, to really enhance those areas of the home. You know, you can go to the extent of painting and stuff like that, but you don't have to. Painting walls and stuff, but you don't have to do that. Yeah, so making sure you don't bring things like metal into those rooms is quite important as well. And fire. You wouldn't want to bring like fire in there as well. But yeah, I hope that helps a little bit for you. And yeah, there's so much information you can like read and learn about Feng Shui. There's so many books out there too. I've got like a couple of them, and it's just like you could just pick them up and collect them everywhere, and it's really helpful because it helps you to learn about decluttering and chi and energy and stuff like that, which is so important because that's what we're all made of. Shredder. Okay, so I'm going to give you the option, because you've been such a faithful follower and chatter and whatnot. You can have a private healing in Discord after, like later on, or I can do it now for you on stream. It's up to you. But basically going to just be sending you energy and using the healing, the singing bowls to channel energy as well. And yeah, so I'm a Reiki master, so I'm tuned into Reiki healing energy, and I've got Reiki codes that I can use and send. And yeah. Okay, sweet. We'll do it now. And then everyone else can experience the energy too. It'll be directed at you, but everyone else that is here will also be able to benefit from it as well. Oops, sorry, just let me set up. Okay, sit back and relax, Shredder. okay, Shredder. I hope that you can feel that energy going through your body, or it'll help shift something. If I'm not sure if you have aware of what Reiki is, or have heard of it before, or if anyone else has. Were you doing something with my solar plexus? I did feel like there was energy, a lot of energy either stuck there or moving or shifting in your solar plexus, and I felt it shift down, but then I felt like there was another block or something stuck around your, maybe like ankles or shins or feet or something around that area, like the energy couldn't shift and escape. But yeah, I could definitely see around your solar plexus there was like a lot of energy moving around there. I've heard of Reiki, but I don't know anything about it. Oh, Yosh Yosh! Do you want a healing, Yosh? Oh, Yosh Yosh. So Reiki is basically universal healing energy. So it was first channeled or discovered in like 19 something by Dr. Usui in Japan, and he basically channeled down information from a source about energy healing, and it's been like practiced, and it's been like used for like many years now and all over the world, and it's taught down, like there's a lineage, like you're taught by when you become, basically when you learn Reiki, you can see the lineage of like where your teacher has learnt from, and the lineage is like quite short sometimes too, so it can be like quite powerful how the energy's been passed on, because there's not it's not going through a lot of hands and different people necessarily, because it's not as popular, but it just because of the way that it's spread around and the way that you teach it. It's basically, when you do a Reiki healing session, you're basically just getting the energy to flow through someone's body. So you're not necessarily, like for myself, I'm not doing the healing, I'm not healing that person, I'm moving the energy and allowing the energy to flow through their body and clearing blocks, and putting more energy into the body and more chi to move that stagnant energy, so that the body can heal itself. And the Reiki energy goes anywhere it needs to go in the body as well. So if I'm focusing on someone's shoulders or head or whatever, it doesn't matter. Hi AJ Seller, how are you? It doesn't matter if I'm focusing on their head, their feet, whatever it is. The energy will flow up to where the blocks are to push and move the stagnant energy, basically. And our bodies are so powerful, they can heal themselves. So it's just like encouraging that self-healing, basically. And when I've done like Reiki healings for like clients on like in person on my table, they usually like fall asleep, and I've had people tell me like they've never like just fallen asleep like that, and it's like the best sleep they've ever had. And I tell them that they were snoring and they don't believe me, and yeah, but you just go into this really deep relaxation, and a lot of people don't get to experience that very often, having that really deep relaxation. And someone basically, while you're in that deep relaxing state, someone focusing their energy and their intention and like love on like healing you and sending you that energy. So yeah, Reiki can be really powerful if you're open to it and want to feel it and accept it. Also, thank you, Miss Random, for contributing to the sound healing challenge. I appreciate that. Ever had a past life regression? Yes, I have done some past life stuff. Only once though, many years ago. It was very interesting, but I haven't done much of it or any more. And one of my teachers, he is very big on it, and but he's in America, and yeah, and he's always talking about a past life regressionist that he goes to and all the amazing things that he learns from it. And learns and obviously grows from. So yeah, mine too. Mine too. Like, you have had them as well, or you haven't had one for a while? I can tell that eclipse is coming. I'm very agitated in my core right now. Oh, Miss Random. The intensity's building up. If you're around later too, Miss Random, I'll see if you're around in Discord and we can jump on and have a chat as well. And I can even give you some healing as well, direct healing. Yes, AJ Seller, yep. Yeah, probably due to do something like that again, some past life stuff. Yeah, what did you experience when you had your past life healing? Or past life regression? Well, it is healing basically, because it opens up to see like what past stuff we've had, which like is what we carry into different lives. Yeah, I should be around. Sorry, I was talking earlier. I wasn't talking, I was just listening. Oh, that's okay. I was a Japanese doctor and worked to death, worked too much. Oh, wow. Okay, nuts. Oh, wow. So in this lifetime, you have to make sure that you don't do that. It's always, you know, you can work hard, but making sure that you don't, yeah, burden yourself like that. Didn't care to die, was too exhausted. Oh gosh. It must have been a good one if you like went through and got a lot of detail too. Yeah, I'm fat and lazy in this life. Oh, okay. Well, that's why we've got to find that balance, because then in the next life you'll have to do the opposite again, or not the opposite, but you'll experience the opposite. So we've got to balance it out so that we heal it and don't go through it again. Have to go through the basically bouncing back and forwards like over and over between the sides. We can move on to the next thing we have to heal. Fun. I saved people through some fires too. Wow, that's pretty cool. Like that you got to find that much deep information out. Weird experience. I don't remember a lot about mine. I just remember, I mean, it was a few years ago now and I don't have the best memory, but it was like there were dragons. So it was in a time when there was like dragons, and I was a peasant and living in like a peasant like camp sort of thing, but not camp, like just where peasants live. And it was like dragons and like a castle, and yeah, I can't even remember, but it was yeah, very strange experience, especially like being in that trance state is quite interesting. You're awake but you're in a trance, and like your eyes are closed but you're like awake and aware, and you can snap out of it any time, but you're like deep in it, and it's like such a weird feeling in a way, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, let me get my thing up. There we go. Oops. $5 offer, last life regression, got mine done for $40. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Fiverr's got quite a lot of stuff on it, doesn't it? I think I don't even know now. It must have been like 10 years ago I got a card reading on there, or maybe like 8 years ago or something like that. I might have paid like $15 or something, got like a little 3-card reading or something sent to my email or something like that. It was pretty good though, I think. Like, I was quite impressed. But again, it's just another place for people to advertise themselves. So yeah, it's really good. So, oh, what does it mean if I'm seeing 11, 11 a lot? I mean, like every day. Whoa, that's amazing. And 1, 11. Oh my gosh. And that's amazing that you're seeing it and you don't know. So, not that you don't know, but that like you've been seeing it heaps and yeah, you're not even like aware of the meaning of it. So 1111 is like basically it's like the illuminated number. So it's like telling us we're like on our path, we're on the right direction, we're doing the right thing. So whatever we're doing in that moment when we see 1111 is like that confirmation that we're like tuned into like a high consciousness, to like the divine. It's like a message from like God, source, whatever you want to say, basically saying that we're doing or we're on track or we're where we should be right now. So if you're thinking about something, if there's like a song on, if you're like looking, there's like whatever you're doing in that moment or thinking or talking about or whatever it is, and you see that 1111, it's that confirmation telling you that you're on track. And it's that illumination number, so it's like quite spiritual and connected, and it's like a higher consciousness thing. Oh wow, you too, AJ Seller, that's awesome. And it's like an awakening number. It's like telling you that you're awakening to consciousness, to the higher divine, like the more, there's more to life sort of thing. Like, yeah, I've been seeing it when I've been soothing other people, working on my schooling and like serving in the community. Oh my gosh, there you go. So it's a sign that you're like on track, you're in your divine purpose, you're doing the right thing. That's really cool. That's like so awesome. But yeah, all the like different numbers, number sequences you see can mean different things. But that 1111 is like spot on with like being on path and connected and like a message from source or the divine. And that's so amazing that you do that too. So caring and nurturing. That's what we need more of in this world, isn't it? I've turned 33 next year. My ears sort of crackle when I think about it, or if someone mentions it. I don't know if that's a thing or if I need a doctor. Oh, okay. If it wasn't normal before and it's just like when that's happening, that can be messages from angels too. You can actually like even look that up or Google it. But if we like get weird noises, or if we like can get like even like people can like smell senses and things sometimes weirdly, and it's like nothing around it even smells like that, and it's like a sign from the angels telling you something, like as well, again, like that like they're trying to give you a message and you need to like tune in and listen. So at that moment you need to like either look around or whatever you're saying or doing or whatever, it's like they're trying to tell you something. So yeah, usually it's a message from the angels, like yeah, but obviously I'm not going to say don't go see a doctor if it's like continues or anything like that, but you'll know if it's like something that's like a doctor or if it's something that's like spiritual or divine, I guess. You'll feel it in your gut. But yeah, I would never not advocate seeing a doctor, obviously. But yeah, you turn 33 next year. That's awesome. So 33 is like when you become an adult. I became 33 this year. But it's like, it is actually like the point where we actually reach when we are an adult, 33. It's like a divine number. It's there's like a big background to 33. Yeah, if anyone knows anything about Freemasonry, yeah. But yeah, 33 is like, I don't know, it might even be a spiritual thing too, but 33 is like when we, oh yeah, you're clicking on stuff. When we become an adult, basically. We've been through our Saturn return, and it's not until we go through our Saturn return that we actually become an adult, and we fully step out of that after 32. So once we're 33, we've been through all that, and yeah, we move forward into our adult life and start using everything we've developed and learned and skills through those 32 years or whatever, to go through life, and it's who we are and what we take through life, basically. No, it only happens to me when the 33 thing gets mentioned. I feel like I'm outgrowing my skin. You know how some insects do? 33 vertebrae in the human spine. Oh, okay, Shredder. Sweet. I didn't even know that. There you go. So, it's only when 33 things get mentioned. Okay. Well, yeah, maybe it's like when you're 33, you're finally going to step into your new skin and like who you are and what you're going to put out into this world and who you're going to become, basically. Yeah, a lot of people think they've got it together and they've got it on track in their 20s and that, and then they hit their Saturn return and life changes in some way. So yeah, Saturn return is like a huge turning point in our life, or a huge wake up, or a huge realization, or a huge shake up, or something. Growing up is a lot of work. Oh yeah, and that's what you'll feel like at this age because you've been through all the Saturn stuff. So Saturn return starts from 28 years old to 32. It's usually around like 28, 29, 30. We still experience, like it starts like 28, 29. We go through it. We come out of it. It just depends when Saturn's transiting and where it is going through your chart at the time. It happens differently for everyone. And that's what it is. It's every 28 years Saturn returns to the same spot. And yeah, and Saturn represents like hard work, responsibility, getting serious. It's like setting goals and having like something to achieve and like build as well, like building foundation and structure. And also it's yeah, that's pretty much it, like that building something, that structure, legacy, sorry, I was going to say, and like having some kind of legacy. So it's like when we probably after our Saturn return or through our Saturn return start to think about that whole legacy and what we want to create. So yes, that's Saturn return. So yeah, life gets better from 33. That's so fascinating. When I was about 29, 30, I started getting all these serious bumps and barriers in my way to doing what I feel I'm here for, helping others, and it was so disruptive. I had to refocus and grow and go back to school, and I can break the barriers down. That was probably my Saturn return. Yes, it so would have been, and that's what Saturn is: barriers, restrictions, hard work, taking on a lot of responsibility, all that stuff. It's like makes us like stop. It's like, okay, this is one like astrologer says. It's like daddy coming to say to us, what are you doing? Get serious, like get real about stuff, like, because Saturn is like the authority figure, the father. So that's why it can be like authority figures in our life coming in too, making things more difficult or bringing like stops to our life, or like our bosses giving us more work and making it harder for us to like have more outside time or whatever it is. Okay, take care, Tassie Devil. Have a good day. Jesus also died at 33. Okay, there you go. More and more, hey? Yes, there's so much information in the Bible. Yeah, so that's what Saturn represents, and I feel you with what you said with the barriers and all that. Like, that's probably the same for me. Like, I, was on this path doing all this stuff many years ago for many years, and then for a few years I didn't. I was all about work and trying to get serious about life and went from working for myself back to being in a job working for someone else, and you know, getting serious about life or whatever and all that. And yeah, now I guess I got to have that balance where I have both, where I can do that and do this stuff or something. I don't know where I'm headed, but yeah, so but I had to go through all that Saturn return stuff as well. And it can bring in like a lot too. Like we can go through like job losses and job changes and relationship losses obviously, and relationship changes in that period too. So yeah, there's a lot that can happen during a Saturn return. Yeah, it was bosses saying I was too empathetic when I was working in social services, stopping me from actually helping people because I worked too hard. Do you feel positive after the Saturn return? Like, did your energy change or did you feel a difference? Yeah, definitely. And not just like my energy. And I think like maybe because like I'm just an optimistic like Sag person anyway, and it moved when it finally moved out of Sag for me, that like made me be able to be optimistic and more positive again, I guess. But also because once it shifted, then the energy shifted of that, and then things started changing in my life. So it wasn't as difficult and hard anymore, and all that Saturn stuff, you know. So yeah, it definitely did change. Obviously it doesn't happen overnight, it's like a gradual shift, but it changed and it's getting better. So yeah, pretty exciting, and it gets you like excited about life again, I think, once all that heavy energy shifts and changes and moves on, because yeah, you can feel really burdensome during those times. So I hope that it shifts for you and you yeah, feel that positivity. When I'm almost there then. Oh, I'm almost there then. Just got to hold out till March. Yeah, hang in there. And the thing is that too, the thing with Saturn is like, it's like really tough, and it's that authority and it's that father thing and all that stuff, and hard work and taking responsibility and getting serious and blah, 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 all that Saturn stuff. But it brings rewards. If we do the hard work, if we don't slack off, if we do all those Saturnian things, set our goals, like, or have something to work towards or to achieve, and or create or build or something like that as well, and yeah, get mature basically and serious and take responsibility. Now, if we do those things, we will get rewarded. Saturn brings rewards. It's not necessarily like Jupiter rewards where we might, like, I don't know, win a new car or something like that, or I don't know, stuff like that. But it's the rewards, like the hard work that you've put in. So, you know, for someone who's working hard at, like, in sales and trying to build a client base or something like that, you know, been working and grinding for so long and feel like they're not getting anywhere, but they've been doing it with hard work. They feel like they're doing everything right, slowly building, but not like anything major. Then when that Saturn energy shifts, they could start to see it like really start to build and take off, because they put that hard work and that time and dedication and energy into it. And Saturn's the ruler of time, so time is the biggest thing. Using our time wisely in those Saturn times, and yeah, we will get rewarded. So yeah, Father Saturn brings us sweets if we do our chores. Yes, that's it. That's so true. Oh my God, that's awesome. I'm going to remember that one. Thank you, Miss Random. Father Saturn brings us sweets if we do our chores. Oh, I love that. That's so good. That's like the best analogy. Is that the right word? Yeah, of Saturn. That's cool. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's exactly what Saturn is like. Yeah, so some people are Saturn ruled, so you're like Capricorn rising people, Aquarian people. So Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. So yeah, any of those signs are ruled by Saturn and have those qualities in some ways. They're very different, Capricorn and Aquarius, and Saturn sort of, the energy of Saturn, you know, shows in different ways within them, but yeah, they're both ruled by Saturn. Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus, so that makes it a bit different because Uranus is the unpredictable, the unexpected, the unique, the different, the black sheep, the revolutionist, revolutionary person, the humanitarian, the one that wants to invent and do things differently and break free and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it takes on the Saturn energy in a different way to Capricorn. It's more the building and creating something for the world and for a bigger purpose and the goals and the legacy and more that side of it. But it's not for a selfish point of view when it comes to Aquarius. It's for the collective. Aquarian and Gemini are the two zodiacs I notice I have a little bit harder time connecting to. Oh, okay. Let me have a look at your chart just for my personal look. So I can see where they are in your chart. Gemini and Aquarius. And both air signs too, so they're both quite intellectual and not maybe emotional. But yeah, a Libra rising, and Libra risings are intellectual and air sign. That's interesting. So their suns, I mean, I don't know what their moon is, but yeah, one of my dearest friends is Aquarius, and it was hard for me to be best friend of him until we connected on science things. That's the Aquarian things. That's funny. So Gemini is your 9th house, so maybe, or 8th and 9th house. Oh, sorry. So that would definitely mean that, like, you could only connect with those sorts of people on a... Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm just putting the singing bowl down so I don't knock it. You would only be able to connect with those types of people on, like, a deep level, not a surface level, basically. Having that in that Gemini energy in that 8th house is, like, deep connections and, like... not those, like, surface level connections, I guess, with Geminis in particular. So I'm usually there to soothe and help them heal old wounds, kind of thing. Oh, wow. Oh, so your Chiron's in Gemini, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So yeah, we can talk about that later if you want, but yeah, the wounded healer is Chiron, and it's like where our biggest wounds in life are, and where when we heal those wounds, we can help others heal. And sometimes that can mean, like, when we're healing those wounds and on the path and on the journey of that healing, other people can come into our lives also on that same healing journey or path, to help that and assist in that healing, basically, and to help and assist each other. So yeah, Gemini Chiron aspect is definitely, like, when you come across Geminis, it's going to be it's like a co-op healing experience. Yeah, exactly. So that's what you're going to experience at Geminis there. And Aquarius is in your 4th house. So and you've also got Mercury there. So fourth house is like our roots, what's like natural to us, our home and family. Gosh. And Mercury there is like quite nurturing and quite like caring and someone that would be like quite either like proud or quite like maybe even like someone has a lot of stories about their childhood. That could be someone with Aquarius Mercury there in the 4th house, someone that's got a lot of stories about their childhood, or had a lot of different experiences in their childhood as well, or met a lot of different people in their childhood and in their growing up. Also someone that might have moved around a lot as well. It's like if I had to sum them up, it would be like Aquarians are usually not enough feelings and Geminis are like too many feelings. Okay, yeah, well Aquarius definitely can be cold and not show their feelings, that's for sure. But not necessarily show, they can show their feelings, but they don't like talk about their feelings. And like they're not necessarily overly emotional and stuff like that, because it's they're intellectual and they're more detached, and they like can see things like from the higher point of view. They're like higher purpose. They're not like here for little shit basically, and like stuff that doesn't mean anything. And I don't mean like little things that mean stuff to us, but it's like, yeah, little things that mean stuff to us don't mean stuff to them, basically, sort of thing, in a nice way. And Gemini is like flippity floppity. So Geminis can be like cold one moment, they can be like really sensitive the next moment, they could be this the next moment. There's that flip floppity with Gemini too. Like they can have many different sides of them, or have a hidden side, or you know, wear that mask or not show something or something like that too. And then also they can like be too talkative and talk too much and overdo it and over express and over you know, explain and over examine and things like that as well. Yes, I have a lot of stories, lol, and yes, I did. People tell me to write a book already. Funny. Aquarian, me, Gemini. That's how I feel. Hi, Cursed Readings. Thank you for the follow. That's how I feel, like a scale. Ah, the Libra. Yeah, yep. Hey, well, that's probably it. There you go. You're good. You're good with this astrology stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. That's so cool. So when are you going to write that book? Do you have any experience with having a god or goddess as a patron for being a witch? I'm not sure what you mean, Cursed Readings. Like, have I experienced as a patron? Do you mean like as a guide? Do I have I experienced having a god or goddess as a guide for being a witch? Yeah, I like to work with them. Well, I'm a Reiki healer, so I do have like my Reiki guides and my guides that I've worked with, and I've done some work over the years with like channeling guides, and also like with other people and like them channeling my guides and like connecting me with them and telling me about them, and I've had like paintings done of my guides and stuff like that. But I do have like my Reiki healing guides that I connect in with when I do healing sessions, that I get to help me with them, get to help me with the healing. Why do you ask? Do you have guides that you work with, or is it something you're interested in connecting with? Your name, Cursed Readings. Do you do readings yourself, but you never chat with them? Not necessarily. I chat with like my angels and my guides, like the ones around me, because I'm constantly like talking to the angels, my guides, the universe, and like communicating with them and asking them to help me and asking them for information and stuff like that. So if you mean on that sense, I talk to my like guides and angels every day, but I don't connect in with like any specific angels like Archangel Michael or Archangel Megatron or like Metatron, sorry, or any of those like angels. So yeah, or any specific like beings or anything like that. But I do, you know, connect with my angels and guides every day and ask them for whatever I need and thank them all the time and tell them my gratitude and I'm thankful and everything like that as well. So yeah. And yes, I do readings. My pantheon is Egyptian. Oh, okay, awesome. Are you a streamer? Do you do readings on Twitch? Oh, okay, awesome. We'll have to check out your channel. I'll do that after stream. So do you... I also play games too. Yeah, me too. What games do you play? In Transformers Megatron? Is it Metatron or Megatron? I don't know. Has a goal to get to the cube. What's the cube? Anything really? Oh, okay. Yeah, I play like lots of different games too. I'm loving Gunfire Reborn at the moment though. It's so fun. And yeah, and I love PUBG. I'm just always a PUBG lover. It's like my go back to default game. The deity who chose me is Hathor. Oh, okay, cool. And so do you connect in with Hathor every day? And does like Hathor, like do you channel Hathor when you do your readings as well? Yes, cool. Is Hathor one that you've like been able to research and get any information on, or is it just one that has just like come through that yeah, is like there just for you sort of thing, or one that no one else has sort of touched on before? She's always with me. Oh, okay, that's nice. I like how Archangel Metatron has a cube, which is sacred geometry in the movie. Megatron has to find a physical cube that gives life to machines. Oh, okay, interesting. I know. I can't watch movies, like mainstream stuff, because like I haven't seen a movie in so long, because when I do, it's like I can just see all like the hidden stuff. And it's like, not frustrating, but it's just like, oh my God, how can, you know? Oh, it's like, please, people, just see. It's like so much hidden stuff out there, and like, yeah. You've seen The Matrix. Who hasn't seen The Matrix? Exactly, you know, prime example. That's right. Yosh yosh. Also, I'm going to be on later today, which I don't know what time that is for everyone else. At like, I don't know, for me it'll be like 4 or 5 p.m. So it's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. I'll be back on just for like, I don't know, a quick 10, 20 minutes, 15, half an hour, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's just going to be a quick chat about the eclipse season for each sign, for like a rising or sun sign thing for the basically for the week, and sort of like what they can look for. But it's going to be based on sort of like more rising sign. It's going to be a quick snapshot for each. And yeah, I'm just going to go through it and then probably jump off. And oh, awesome cursed readings. I'll bring up your chart in a moment. So for me, it's going to be around 4 or 5. I'd say 5. Let's say 5, between 5 and 6, so I'm not late. 5 and 6 p.m. in my time. So let me look up what that means. Hang on. 5 p.m. So okay, so it'll be 2 a.m. in Washington, D.C. Okay. It's like 5 hours from now. That's what I should be saying. That's what I said. 4 or 5 hours from now. So let's say 5 hours from now, about 5.5 hours from now. I'm so bad with time zones. Yeah, 6 hours from now. Let's say 5.5 to 6 hours from now. I'll put a post on in Discord as well. So I'm not going now. I'm not leaving here, but that's when I'll be doing the by sign sort of readings. I'll still be looking at things in people's charts just for now. Yeah, I'll post in Discord like, I don't know, 20 minutes before I'm coming on or something like that. Half an hour or something. And yeah, it'll just be sort of like a general scope for each sign for the week, including that eclipse energy. But yeah, there's a few more things happening. Like it's not just the eclipse, there's other sorts of things, transits and aspects happening towards that eclipse as well, which make it even more powerful, because a lunar eclipse is not necessarily like super powerful like this, but it's going to be because of other aspects. Your time zone math is pretty good. That's awesome. Mine's terrible. I need to improve that. Okay, let's bring up your chart, cursed readings. Okay, I'm just going to put in the details and then bring up your chart. So, we've got the 28th of September. So, that will be a Libra. 1999. And 11:30 a.m. and town, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Oh, Ginge. Hello, baby. Okay. Now, I'll just make sure I've got the details right. We've got 28th of September, 1999. Come on. We've got 11:30 a.m. and Green Bay. Yep, okay. Let's bring it up. Curse readings. There we go. Okay. Hey, Ginge. Oh, I need to fix it up because of the feng shui. Okay. So, let me move my chart above my overlay. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so I like to start with someone's rising sign first, because our rising sign is our identity, who we are, how people like perceive us first, their first impressions of us. It can be our appearance and the way we dress and present ourselves. And your rising sign is in Scorpio. So that can make someone who is very deep and like maybe emotional and sensitive, someone that doesn't necessarily let everyone in on their lives or their secrets or what's going on with them. They can be like a bit closed and have boundaries. They're usually someone that is like quite psychic and quite in tune, and they can see through bullshit basically. They can read people, and yeah, they know if someone's a bit shifty or shady or whatever, basically. Yeah. And they don't like surface level like crap. They need to get deep within things. They could be someone that's also like quite like not them untrustworthy. They're very loyal and trustworthy people, Scorpios, but they might have trust issues with other people, and it's that uneasy feelings that they get. They're quite intuitive, and they like can sense people, and like I said, see through the bullshit. They can tell when people are like lying or just aren't being honest, or don't have integrity or whatever. That is totally me. And they also are can be like suspicious and quite like investigative. It could be someone who is an investigator or something like that as well. So that Scorpio energy too could be someone that goes through a lot of like deep transformation in their life and a lot of healing, or they feel like they have a lot of like beginnings and endings in their life in some way, like they're just constantly maybe like going through stuff or transforming in some way, where they're like going like deep into things and delving into like the murkiness of stuff in a way, and it could be even like through their own mind, and I mean a lot of that Scorpio energy is your 12th house, which is like our mental state and our mind and all that. So it could be someone who it's very much like mind related and whatnot. But I'm trying to go through a transformation. I'm transgender. Okay. You've got so you've also got a lot of your first house there is Sagittarius. So although those Scorpio energies dominate you as a person, that Sag energy definitely makes a part of who your identity is too. And you've got Chiron there, you've got Pluto there, and you've got Mars there. So that first house and that identity is definitely like huge wounds and healing and transformation and some big experience that you'll go through in life that you'll basically like go through and heal and overcome and be able to like help others with and show others a way. And it's based around like identity and who you are and what you're about and the way you present yourself and the way you show yourself and all that. So that definitely ties up with, I guess, what you're going through. And that energy comes from that first house. That's what your identity and all that is. You've got Chiron there, who's the wounded healer. Once we heal our wounds, we can help others heal. And then there's Pluto there, which is all about transformation and breakthrough and like going deep and like uncovering the truth and all that stuff. So, and it's the first house, the truth about who we are. So yeah, you've also got Mars there too, and that's Sagittarius energy, someone who's like a free spirit and like maybe likes to, you know, that Mars energy there definitely enhances that, likes to do things their way. And also that Sag energy is someone who needs freedom or needs like to escape in some way. They can be like someone who's like quite social and fun and like likes to party and like the party animal maybe, or just like likes to have fun and like, you know, just like that. They're that fun person basically, that Sag person. And like, they can have like a lot of friends and like be social and all that too. So also like that first house Sag person can, and with that Mars there too, could be someone that like either like travels a lot or likes like things of like another culture or like something that's far away or overseas, or there's something there with that first house energy. And with the Mars there, it could be like someone who you know, dates someone or has a relationship with someone like from another country or another culture, another nationality too. That can be that Mars energy. In that first house though too, could be very much just about that's that person's like desire and passion is to like have something out like that's like far distance or far away or something like that, or they have real desire and passion to like learn and grow and like absorb knowledge and information, but it's not like that Gemini energy. It's like long-term studies or philosophical stuff or something about beliefs and all that. There's like something there with definitely about like the philosophical side and being driven into that and like quite passionate and in that area in some way. And it's that optimistic sign, so it can be someone who probably is quite optimistic with that Mars there. It's a more optimistic Mars and not like a more angry Mars, more passionate in that sense. But again, it can be someone who drowns himself out again through like alcohol or an escape or drugs or something too with that Sag energy. And again with that Pluto and that Chiron there in that first house, very much there again about like transformation of beliefs as well, beliefs and you know, what you see in the world and what you think about the world and all that. There's big transformations there in that first house as well. So let's have a look at your moon. So moon there in the sixth house is someone who's usually needs really healthy routines in their life. A sixth house is all about like health and our daily routines and our sort of day-to-day stuff that we do. And a moon there can make someone be quite emotionally tuned in that area and sensitive, and they need to like be someone that maybe like goes to bed early and like gets up early and has like really good routines and practices in place to keep their emotional balance, or they need to like eat healthy and exercise to like help balance that emotional energy so it doesn't like get built up and stuck in the body and become stagnant, especially because it's in Taurus. It's definitely someone who needs to like move their body, because otherwise the emotions will get built up there, especially with Saturn there. Saturn can make it like someone feels like a lot of responsibility with work. Maybe they have a lot of they either have a lot of responsibility with work there with Saturn, or they feel like quite burdensome when it comes to like work and responsibilities with work, and like the daily routines and all that. Having a Taurus moon there too is usually someone that is like could overindulge in food and like overindulge in some way, the Taurus stuff like food or binging or something like that, because it's sixth house and like health as well. Also a Taurus moon is usually someone that's like quite practical and money orientated, like money's quite important to them in their emotional state. If they don't have good stability and like financial support, then that can really like take a toll on their emotions and feelings. It can be like what really drives them. I have overindulged. It can be what drives them, and that like can be why you overindulge. You feel like having money issues or feeling quite sensitive to those sorts of things, feeling unstable and not grounded, then that's where like the food part can come in with a Taurus. Balancing out those energies, having really good healthy routines, having a really good like work-life balance is important for your emotional self. I don't have money issues at all. Okay. You have Saturn there, so maybe Saturn's like helped you to create really good foundations and structures and in place with work so that you have that security. It's really important with a Moon Taurus person to have financial security, usually. So, maybe you've already got that, so you don't have money issues, you don't have that worry. But if you're in a position where you did have money issues, it's usually quite debilitating for a Taurus, especially a Taurus moon. I am also on disability and SSI. Okay. Taurus moon person also can be someone that's like quite grounded within their emotions when they are like, in those healthy practices and all that too, like looking after themselves, I guess, as well. Having that Saturn there too, again, would like make it more difficult for work in some way, or make it harder for work, or there's some kind of restrictions there with work. Like I said, it can either be that you work too much, or it's like harder to find work or to do work or something like that. Saturn brings restrictions and boundaries and makes us like have to work harder in that area of our life, but it's usually because we need to come up with like a really like good foundational way of doing things that's going to like support us through the long haul. So your sun is up there in the 10th house. A sun 10th house person is usually someone that the sun's highlighting the area of your 10th house, which is like goals, building something, what you're like putting out into the world. It can be like our career, our work, our legacy, what we're like leaving behind. So having a sun up there could mean that like the father possibly has like left a legacy behind, or created something, or set some goals for you to like follow on and achieve from. Or it could be that you have heaps of like really good goals, like not really good. You have like, you're really driven like towards your goals, and that's like an important part of like what you're here to achieve, and like doing the world is to have goals and to create something and like build something. And it's in the sign of Libra too, so it could be like even like necessarily like relationships, having really good relationship foundations and building it out, and like heaps of like different people that you connect with out in the world, and that's where your like your foundation's going to come from, and your legacy is going to be created from some kind of like social stuff, or like relationships or something like that out in the world. The light's shining there, so it's shining out there for you to be in that Leo energy, in that sun energy, out in the limelight, in the 10th house, which is like out in the public, out in the open, and it's in those social situations. Mercury's also there in that Libra energy. It is in the 11th house, so it's definitely like someone who is here to like communicate or spread a message or talk in some way out to a bigger scale of people, or come up with like some inventive idea or some new way of doing something. It's someone who's here to give information in like a new and different way. With that Libra energy, it's definitely like based on like people and like relationships and helping people. So it could be like helping people to like do their relationships in another way or better, or help people in their relationships on a huge scale in some way maybe. There's something there for relationships and on a big scale or humanitarian way, like having a bigger purpose to like help like groups of people, or help relationships, or in social circles or something like that. Okay, so just seeing what else stands out in your chart. So your Venus and North Node are up there in the 9th house and in Leo. So that's definitely like someone who can create money or use their skills in the way of that Leo energy. And it comes from the 9th house, so it's just like all about like our beliefs and like maybe like higher learning and teaching. So it could be someone that like teaches in some way, some kind of like guru, or has like knowledge and information to share in some way. That 9th house is a philosophical house too, so someone that's like wants to learn about philosophical things, or like what's to life and what's going on and how things work and what all that sort of stuff. The North Node is there is too, so it's definitely somewhere you are headed in a direction in this life. And that Leo energy is like in the limelight and like from the heart, so it's like sharing information from the heart and like doing it in like a playful way as well, and that teaching energy or that guru energy. Or again, it could be someone that finds love with like a celebrity, or like love with someone overseas or from another culture or from another country. Someone that can make money from another country or another culture, or from like overseas, or from like far away as well, or from traveling or something like that. It could be, there's some, that Leo energy is like that celebrity energy, or that like being in the limelight, or being like out there in some way and being courageous and like shining a light and showing oneself, and like wearing the heart on the sleeve in a sense. And so that Venus energy there is definitely someone that can has skills or can make money based on like that teaching or higher information and like sharing or knowledge, or traveling in some way, or with like different cultures or something like that as well. It's, it could be money and love there. The North Node's there too, so it's a direction in life. So you're headed towards that direction of that North Node, which is like being out in the limelight, and it's in the sense of like philosophical things or beliefs or something like that. So the eclipses are going to be happening for you in your in Gemini and Sagittarius, and for you that is in your 1st house and your 7th house. So on Monday, which for me is tomorrow, might be a little bit more for, I shouldn't say Monday, on the 30th, that's better for time zones. On the 30th, we're going to be having an eclipse, a full moon eclipse in Gemini. So the North Node is what we're moving towards, the South Node is what we're sort of leaving behind or moving away from, because we've already mastered it, we've already been through those experiences. We can use that energy to like help us through the skills and that we've developed during those South Node times, but we're no longer like staying stuck in that energy and moving forward into the North Node energy. And eclipses can bring breakthroughs and breakdowns, but sometimes we can go through the breakdown first and then the breakthrough. The eclipses can bring in like huge opportunities or sudden changes, or just shocking things. And for you, they're happening, as I said, in your 1st and 7th house. The Gemini one tomorrow, or on the 30th for you in the 7th house, isn't actually hitting on any specific planets, but it is opposing your 8th, your 1st house with that Sag, and you do have Pluto there. So that does speak to like some kind of huge transformation of like letting go and leaving behind some kind of old belief systems that no longer serve you, that are holding you back in your identity and who you are and what you're putting out into the world, the way you present yourself or your appearance or something like that. There's some kind of like full release of letting go and cutting off in that energy over this next month, especially because we'll also be moving into the Sag one on the 14th of December, the eclipse there. And it's happening right on that 8th degree for you. So it's right on your Pluto. And Pluto is all about transformation. It's all about like, yeah, breakthrough. It's delving into like the depths of the darkness of things and coming to the truth and uncovering the truth of things. So that eclipse is going to bring changes within yourself, and it's going to affect like your relationships, because once you like step into your identity of who you are, then you can focus on your relationships and building those and connecting with others. And that's like the North Node is. It's in that 7th house. So you now need to like focus your energy, especially over the next like 8 to 9 months, on relationships and trying to like find new ones and create new ones, or build on them, or connect with people in some way, or put yourself out there, or open up to them in some way, because that's where that North Node is headed for you. And it can mean like big changes in relationships as well, and new opportunities and new relationships coming into your life as well. And that doesn't necessarily have to be love. It can be business. Those relationships are business and love related in that 7th house. It's all the relationships we have with people. It could be like friends and family, all sorts of things. So yeah, I hope that has helped you in some way, and maybe enlightened you or confirmed some things for you, gave you confirmation. Thank you very much for letting me look at your chart. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. Cursed readings. So that's just like a snapshot reading. It's just a quick look at your chart, a couple of things in your birth chart. My more detailed readings go into a lot more, where we look at the birth chart in full and all the different aspects and how they make up who you are and what you're going to go through in this life. And we can look at different transits that affected you throughout your life and what you'll be going through in the future. We can look at progressions and see the healing and growth that you're having to go through in this lifetime. We can look at relationship charts. We can look at so many different things with a private reading. So yeah, I do offer those as well to anyone if they're ever interested, and find the details below. But just so you know, this is just a snapshot. So it's they're usually pretty accurate, but there can be a lot of other things that come in and affect the chart, especially when we look at progressions as people grow and change over their lifetimes. But the natal chart is the core basis of who you are. I also stream Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays for you, possibly Saturdays, Sundays and Mondays. Okay, cool. I'll come by and check you out for sure. Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays. Well, I'll follow you anyway, and then I'll get notified. So yeah, that's okay. And I also do daily posts in Discord, and some random readings and information in there with astrology too, if anyone is interested and wants to join. Yeah. And if anyone else would like a reading, thanks, Cursed Readings, appreciate it. If anyone else would like a reading, you just need to post your date of birth, birth time and location in chat, Whisper or Discord, and we can have a look at your chart and we can see where the eclipses will be hitting for you. And the eclipse energy isn't just for one day. So when I say it's tomorrow or the 30th and the 14th, the eclipse energy is like ongoing over the next 6 months at least. Things will start to manifest and come in and change in your life. This is just like the tipping point of it, where it the energy really like comes to the max, the climax, and then sort of starts to flow out, and like the energy changes and flows, and we start to see all the different changes in that. If it's hitting something specific in your chart, then it definitely will have an effect for you on that day and around that time. But if not, then it's like you know, it can be more of a, you'll see a shift and you'll feel it and you'll see things, and especially like eclipses, you can look back on them and be like, oh my gosh, that happened then, or oh my God, that happened then. I didn't even realize. Like, yeah, it can be like really crazy when you look back on them too. Hi, Striker Hero Camo, how are you today? Any new moon things really do affect everything. Yeah, definitely. The moon is like affects the tides, the ocean, affects animals, it affects us. It's like our body's like 70% water, so the moon is affecting our emotions and feelings and internal self. And the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, so we feel that, and our waters and our energy in our body moves and flows with the moon too. So as the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, we go up and down with the moon cycle, so they affect us all in different ways, especially when they're hitting on certain planets in our chart or points in our chart, and especially like different moon cycles for different things. So like someone who's naturally an Aries moon going through a Libra moon phase, like the moon for the collective going through the sign of Libra, and someone who's a natal Aries moon is going to find it probably more intense because it's the opposition. So, and it's just for that 2.5 days, and that's where we can also tune into that moon energy as well. So like for that 2.5 days while the moon is in, say, Aries, for example, we can like take more action, or like be more straight up with our emotions and feelings, or be more reactive as well, and like our anger and stuff could come out over that 2.5 days, or we could be more passionate over that 2.5 days, that sort of thing as well. So yeah, and like someone who has like a Cancer moon, for example, that's the moon's natural sign, they can find that that's why a Cancer moon person is naturally moody, and that's why, because the moon is changing signs every 2.5 days. So someone who's moody might have a lot of Cancer energy or Cancer placements in their chart. So it's not their fault they're moody. It's just because of the moon. Striker. Wow, great way to put it. Oh, thanks, Striker. It's just so interesting when you talk to different people about different things and at different perspectives. Yeah. Do you know about life paths? Yeah. So based on astrology, you can do like life path readings. We can look like the nodes and all different things in your chart to see like what your life path is, like what your path is in this life. Otherwise, if you mean in regards to like numerology, I do know about like life path numbers and stuff like that in numerology as well. Like I'm a 9. Otherwise, if you just mean about life paths in general, I do know that we're all here for a purpose. We've like, you know, signed a contract before we come into this world. You know, we to certain experiences that we're going to have and go through in this life, and like the astrology and our natal chart shows that too. And yeah, I meant numerology. Okay, yeah, so I'm a 9 life path number. Do you know what you are? I do know, I used to know a lot more about it. I used to delve into a lot more, but I haven't focused on it much over the last few years. But I do know a bit about it. Like I know about like these cycles, like, you know, what, like for us as a collective, what cycle and year we're in and what we're going through and all that sort of stuff as well. So yeah. And then we also have like our cycles, like each year that we go through, you know, like we, like right now, I can't even remember what I'm in, but like now I might be in a 6 year, next year I'll be in a 7 year, then the year after an 8 year. And so like a 6 year brings certain things, a 7 year brings certain things and whatnot. So it's different things you go throughout your life. And then your life path number that you're born with is like the way that you're going to experience life and like what you're here to do in life, basically. So I'm a path life master number 11. Oh wow, so that's master number 11 and a number 2. Converts down to a 2 as well, so it's 11 and 2. So you've got the energies of an 11 and 2. That's true. I'm a life path 4 and a soul 7. Okay, cool. Yeah. So like I said, I don't know heaps about like each individual number. I know a little bit, but yeah, it's numerology can be very, very interesting. Like it's again another like like astrology, it's mathematics and calculations and like, yeah, working something out. It's cool. Interpreting something. Let's have a cat hair or something in my eye. More than likely. I found recently I have a lot of 5 numbers in my whole birthday and time. So my life is Leo, like with North Node since it's the 5th sign. Yeah. Yeah, like the energy of numbers and like astrology and signs all like inter like relates to each other. And like even like tarot and astrology, it's like all connected and all like ties in together, and numerology and all the numbers, and that's like how you read. You know, you can read astrology and read tarot and read the cards through the numbers, and you know that's how we can like read astrology too through like the numbers and stuff like that. Like the 5th house represents that energy of 5, and what that 5 energy represents and stuff as well. And like the 1st house, 1 represents, you know, new beginnings and new opportunities and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, the 12th house is represents like endings and death and stuff like that. Someday I'll have a webcam. Oh, you don't have one yet? Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely you should save for one if you can, or get one, and yeah, get out there and put your face out there so people can connect with you on another level. It's like for me with 5 and 7, I struggle between that Leo and Libra cardinal energy. Oh, okay, yep. So Leo, be out in the limelight. Libra, be a socialite. But also people pleaser. Can be hard to be out in the limelight if you're a people pleaser, probably. Yeah, for my streams for psychic readings. Oh yeah, that would be amazing. Do you do cards or just psychic intuitive readings? Any? Okay, cool. Oh, it's hard. Oh. It's hard being a celebrity. That's what that sounds like to me. 5 and 7 energy. Someone that's like going to be out in the limelight and a socialite, or socialize a lot, or have a lot of relationships, and like, you know, yeah. Hey Choc Mint, how are you? But yeah, I guess that's like when you are in the limelight too, it's hard when you're a people pleaser because you just want to please everyone, don't you? It's not like someone being in the limelight and they're like, I don't care what anyone thinks, I'm just going to do it my way or whatever. I guess that more Aries Leo energy. Yeah. May I have a reading, please? Definitely, Choc Mint. Did you want me to bring your chart up to have a look? And we can see where the eclipses are going to be for you. Oh, you do automatic reading. Oh, well, writing. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I've always wanted to like delve into that. Like I've done little like intuitive bits of intuitive sort of automatic writing here and there, but nothing like going deep into it and like getting in the zone and full on connecting with it or anything like that. So that's really cool. What have you like, have you discovered anything crazy with your automatic writing? Like channeled anything awesome that you want to share? Okay, sweet. All right, let me bring up your chart, Chocolate, and we'll have a look. Hey, Shredder. Leo is only there to be like a good entertainer, but don't care if they got a hater. Then Libra, they care deeply. Yeah, so true. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, funny. You can do it, Striker. You can be that Leo Libra. I can, with spirit, it's more like a spirit tells me what to write. Yeah, that's like that channeling. When you're channeling, it's like not coming from you, it's coming from somewhere else, another source. Yeah, that's cool. All right, Chocolate, we're bringing up your birth chart. Okay. So, the eclipses for you are going to be happening in your 8th house. So the one on the 30th, the full moon eclipse, is in the 8th house. That's where the north node is. So that's the direction we're heading in. That's sort of like the north node where we've been heading in for the last... it'd probably be like a year now since the nodes changed. And the south node is what we're leaving behind, and for you that's your 2nd house, and that's where the eclipse will be on the 14th. Usually eclipses happen, not usually, but eclipses generally happen the other way, where we're letting go first and then we come into the new beginning and where we're going. But this one's sort of happening the opposite way, where we're coming into like the new beginning, or seeing the new beginning, or experiencing it or something in some way, and then on the 14th we release and let go of that, whatever it is we're moving away from, or it's holding us back, or we're letting go of. So I needed to take a break from stream. The guy that came into my house today, my house spirits and guardians, wanted to murderize him. Oh dear. Make sure you have heaps of protection around, Chocolate. I'm sure you do, but yeah, and probably that's why you're okay, because you've got lots of protection. But just a reminder, I guess, and to sage and cleanse as well. Lots of negative energy. Yeah, you need to clear all that away and set your energy back, so you're not drawing in any of that. Okay, so we'll start with like what you want to move away from, let go of. What's no longer serving you anymore? Sorry, what's no longer serving a purpose for you anymore? That's you need to release, and that's that 2nd house, and it's it's more. Just looking at the degrees. Yeah, so that's your 2nd house, and that 2nd house is our self-worth, our values, it's like our skills, it's our confidence, it's where we can like make our money based on like our skills, our values, our self-worth, our confidence, all that stuff, our possessions, lots of negative energy, yeah. So that 2nd house we're moving away from, and you're like cutting off or leaving behind or releasing something or getting rid of something or transforming something in that area to be able to release and let you go. It's cutting off the dragon's tail in a way, like severing something from that part of your life. And it could be like old values and beliefs around the way that you can make money, or the way that you can use your skills or something like that, or you know, boundaries that you've had that have been holding you back, that aren't healthy maybe, to your self-value and your self-worth, old beliefs and traditions that that don't serve you anymore, that are hindering you as well, any kind of like self-sabotage in those areas, It could be like self-sabotaging with like drugs and alcohol too, with that Sag energy there. In that second house, like that worthiness and needing to escape or something. There's something in that second house you need to move away from, release and let go around self-worth, values, confidence, in a way that you can have skills and use your skills and hone in on your skills to make money and have stability and have some kind of like not necessarily foundation, but stability with like your money and your worth and all that sort of stuff. So we're moving toward, I'm burying myself in streaming several streams a day, and it's burning me out. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I don't know, from what I've listened to and, you know, read and stuff like that, definitely the advice says that you shouldn't stream too much, like every day or for too long, because you can burn out, and it doesn't necessarily increase your, you know, followers and chances and subscribers and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how true that is. That's just what I've heard. I mean, it's hard not to, because it's fun and you enjoy it and you love connecting with people and you want to get on every day and do it. But it's, yeah, you're giving a lot of energy out when you do readings and stuff like that too. I mean, when you're gaming as well, you are, because you're chatting and talking to everyone, but you're sitting there and having fun and you're in, you know, you're sort of fun doing your thing. But when you're giving readings, you're tuning into other people's energies, and it can be quite draining by the end of it, because you are giving out so much energy and using so much of your channeling energy and higher energy to like tune into that person and work out what's going on. So yeah, and that's like, you need to have those healthy ways to like balance that out, and you know, things where you go have fun and get away from like computer and streaming, and do things like with self-care and to take care of yourself and look after yourself and eat right and all those things off stream, so that you can be the best person you can be on stream when you do those streams, rather than bringing in not the best person to every stream, because you're doing so many streams and burning out as well. A streamaholic. yeah, but you don't want to burn out, that's right. So you need to balance it out and like, you know, pick like the right times that you feel are right to go on, or the best times or something, and you might end up finding that you know, end up getting more, or it gets better in some way. So that 8th house too that you're moving towards is moving towards like the healing and transformation and like uncovering of truth and information and secrets, and delving deep into what you really want to know and learn about the world and explore, and like what you want to grow and transform from. It's very much in that house there for you, for like death, birth, transformation, healing. It can be like about finances and the money we receive from other people, taxes, insurances, inheritances, that sort of thing. So moving towards that 8th house energy is like moving towards like finding balance in those areas and new ways of like finding sources of income maybe, or getting money from other people in a way, or like revolutionizing, I don't think that's the right word, but changing your ways and beliefs around that as well, because you're moving away from that beliefs and that value and all that. So changing those ways around, the ways that you can do that and receive money. Also, like it's that birth and transformation and death, so it's all about the healing. So any trauma and all that, it's like moving through all that trauma to break through, have breakthroughs, so that you can like move blocks, get rid of boundaries, things that are like basically keeping you stuck and not able to like move forward. Also, there's like a lot of, when that transformation comes in, that 8th house is very much like about our like personal power and like stepping into like who we are and our personal power and what we have, like our in a way of like our skills that we've learned from that second house, that self-worth and all that, and coming into power of those and stepping out and coming like you know, using that skills in a powerful way, and like using the power of those skills basically out in the world. that 8th house too with the Gemini and North Node there can be like that really deep desire and like need to like absorb and learn information about occult things and like things that are like dark and hidden or taboo as well. So that can be things like even like astrology or like tarot and all that as well. It's like wanting to like delve deeper and learn more and grow in that area, and that can help you transform as well by doing that, by taking in that information and knowledge and learning and seeking other sources and letting go of the old stuff that you knew and learned, the old information, the old stuff that doesn't resonate anymore, that doesn't matter, that you don't need, that you've moved on from, that you've grown from, or that you've already learned and used and come into your power with. It's finding that new information, that new knowledge, that new information to help you come into your power. I have convinced myself that I have to go into nursing, and I certainly want to, but I think I'm going way too fast. Well, there's definitely like that's North Node is heading towards in the 8th house is like all about healing and transformation and all that, and having the North Node is like heading us into that direction, and that can be like destiny points and all that. So yeah, if that's something you want to look into, nursing or something like that, the North Node in Gemini is all about like the mind and like health in a way of like having a healthy body, and it represents that 6th house stuff. So it's like having healthy physical like practices, that like an organized mind and stuff like that as well, that Gemini energy, because we can just process so much information, and we need to be able to like organize it. Well, I was planning on being diurnal during summer, but I believe my guides are asking me to be nocturnal for a little while. What's diurnal? Let me look it up. Of during, okay, each day, so day. Oh, nocturnal is night, okay. Well, maybe that means that, yeah, you're, yeah, you do your thing at night, and during the day, when you take care of yourself and do all those other things. I mean, they usually say winter's the time that we, you know, like, especially the solstices and that, if you live on, like, the northern hemisphere of the world, it lines up with the solstices, and in the winter that you go inside and you go deep within yourself and go internal, and then within the summer solstice we come out and we come into the world from what we've learned from that internal, the seasons where we've done the internal work. The reason I'm bringing that up is because you talk about going into the occult, hidden and taboo, and my nighttime practices are about working with shadow and darkness. So yeah, the 8th house is definitely like shadow work. Doing that really intense, deep shadow work, because it's occult stuff and it's healing and it's transformation. And in the Gemini energy, it's like knowledge and information and like research, and it's like processing of information and intellectual knowledge, and just being really intellectual, and like just it's all about the mind and information and learning and growing and communicating and all that as well. So it can be like writing as well. So it could be someone that, it could be like heading you in to do like really deep journaling as well, to like help transform and you know, really like process what you're feeling deep down. Not to be mistaken for baneful or negative. No, of course not. We all need to do like shadow work and go into the darkness and depths of ourselves and of everything in this world, you know, because you can't have light without dark, and the darkness can't be brought into the light without the light shining on the dark. So bringing light to it first. So yeah. Is that all? Yeah, that's all for the eclipses and what's happening in your chart at the moment. The eclipse will square your Venus, so over there in a 6th house in Pisces. So there's definitely like a need, again, like I said, for transformation around self-worth and money and the skills you can use there. That 6th house is like our daily routines and practices. So yeah, maybe it's like you need to transform those and change those and find new ones that are going to help you like balance your mental state and keep your psychological state healthy and your body healthy. Your body's very sensitive. You've got a very sensitive body, so you need to have like really good healthy patterns and routines and that to keep your body balanced, because you know, basically having like really good healthy routines and not like that 6th house too is like someone who could have like a psychic job or something like that as well, because that Venus is there and it's quite Venusian and quite psychic and emotional and sensitive and all that as well. So someone that needs to like be sensitive with their body and take care of themselves is really important in that, with that 6th house Pisces there. Psychopomp. What's psychopomp? Gosh, I feel like I don't know what a lot of these words mean that people say sometimes. Oh, are creatures, spirits, angels, are deities in religions whose responsibility is to escort... So, psychopomps are creatures, spirits, angels, or deities in many religions whose responsibility is to escort newly deceased souls from the earth to the afterlife. Their role is not to judge the deceased, but to simply guide them. Yes. So, mediumship and all that stuff definitely falls into that 6th house there with... Pisces kind of person, definitely. And it's squaring over to that 8th house of like all that darkness. Not darkness, occult stuff. Dark, deep, transformative, occult things. Interesting. That's why I'm going into nursing, palliative care especially. Oh yes, that's right. I do remember you saying that last time. Wow, that's nuts. So like that Pisces energy, Pisces is like the higher consciousness, that God-like energy, the universal energy. It's our higher self. It's like the very top basically. It's that like connection to the divine and like that crossing over basically. So preparing the dying for the process of crossing over. Yeah, that's very Pisces-like for sure. Pisces and Scorpio energy for sure. Sorry, I mean 8th house when I say Scorpio energy, sorry. But there you go, Scorpio is your 1st house anyway, so, and your Mars is there, so that's your like drive and direction and like what you're about and who you are and all that scorpionic stuff, that 8th house stuff, occult stuff that we just spoke about. It's very much a part of your identity and who you are. I'm quite a fighter. Yep, Mars in the 1st house, definitely a fighter. The god of war in the 1st house. Someone that fights for what they believe in. Someone that fights for the truth, being Scorpio. Likes to uncover the truth, is a fighter for uncovering the truth and delving deep into stuff. Not physically, but I'm protective. Yeah, Scorpios are very protective. They're very loyal. They like to keep those, like just, you know, keep They don't like to share with those close to them, but they are those people also that like to keep their friends close and their enemies closer sometimes too. But they also have that scorpion sting, so you have to be careful not to sting them, not to burn them, or not to get that Scorpio tail stinging you, basically. And Mars is ruled by Scorpio there too, so Mars is in its natural placement there in your first house, so it like enhances that energy of Mars and the Scorpio occult things as well, and like being really driven towards that dark side. Passionate about the darker things in life, the hidden occult taboo things. That's funny. Okay, if anyone else would like a chart reading, you just need to post your date of birth, time of birth, birth location in chat, whisper, or Discord, and we can have a look and see what's happening with the eclipses, and just have a quick look at your chart and see, what you're about in regards to your birth chart and who you are and what you might be doing in this world or here for. Thank you, Chocolate, for letting me look at your chart again. I love looking at people's charts, and especially like looking at them for a second or third time, because you like see more every time, and it's really quite enlightening. So thank you very much for letting me look at your chart again, and I hope that you got something out of it and the eclipses go well for you. When we are in knowledge and know of the things that are coming up too, they can definitely make it easier to move through. Not necessarily easier, but just more easier in a sense of like we understand what's going on. So it can be easier physically, sometimes it can be easier emotionally or intellectually or whatever, just bringing light to it basically. I'm gonna go boil the billy. All right, take care. See you next time. Might see you on your stream. See ya. All right, I'm just going to take a break for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm probably going to jump off in about 20 minutes. Hey, Shredder. And yeah, then I'm going to have a break and have something to eat for a couple of hours. And then I'm going to write up my weekly predictions for the 12 signs. And again, I'll be going by rising sign. And I'll have the chart up. Oh, Yosh, you just sneezed on me. Yosh. Aww. I'll have the chart up for each sign, showing where the eclipse is happening for each sign by rising. But you can always go by sun sign if you don't know your rising, but it is best and more accurate always from rising. It's more a look at what is actually going to be happening in your life, because you're looking at the areas of your life based on your chart and what it would be from your rising sign, which is accurate. When you're looking from your sun, we're just looking at it based on like your sun being on in your first house, when that's not necessarily the case. Someone's sun could be in their 8th house, like mine's in my 8th house. So I wouldn't necessarily, if I'm listening to, my sun's in my 8th house, if I'm listening to Taurus, I'm a Taurus sun, that's not going to be exactly accurate for me. I might see some of those things on an outer level, but it's not necessarily going to affect me in my life necessarily in that area of where it says for Taurus. It could be on a different, in a different way, but not exactly life way necessarily, because it's not that area of my life that it's happening for. That's just from the sun. We can look at our moon signs too, because moon can be quite accurate, because it's going to be what's happening to you on an internal level. And if we look at like by our moon sign and we're counting from houses from the moon, then it can be quite accurate, because it is our internal self, and there can be quite a lot to learn there. So looking at our rising and moon is always best, and then sun sign. But if we only know our sun sign, then that's always fine as well. So yeah. So that will be in so when I get off in about 20, it'll be 2 o'clock. So for me, 2 p.m. So in 2 o'clock. So yeah, about 4 hours time, I'll be on. 4 hours time? 3.5, 4 hours time, I'll be back, and I'll do that. I think that's right. Mm-hmm. And then that's something that like anyone will be able to look back on for the week, or look at it during the week if they want to know what's happening, or look back on it after the week to see, how it related or how it worked out for them, and yeah, that as well. Hello, LSD. Thank you for following, and thank you for joining the queue. I'd love to look at your chart for you. If you wanted to post your date of birth, birth time, and location, you can do it in chat here. You can whisper it, or you can do it in Discord. And we can bring your birth chart up and we can have a look. Oh, nice name too, LSD. 0420. Very nice name. I'll just post the Discord link as well in the chat, so if anyone wants to join, and then I'll put up a notification in there, which I don't usually spam in there with notifications when I'm going live, but I will today, so you guys know when I'll be on for those 12 sign eclipse rising sign readings this afternoon, or later today or tonight, or for wherever you are in 3.5 to 4 hours time. Do I have to be 18 plus to get a reading? I think you are supposed to be 18 plus, unless you have parental permission. Thank you for the follow, Flyery 55. I appreciate it. Thank you. These readings are only snapshot readings anyway, so we're not going into anything sort of like in the way of predicting things or telling you what you should do in your life or where you should go or any kind of way in advice. It's more just to look at your natal chart and your birth chart and what you were born into this world with, the skills you have and sort of who you are, and then I do have a look at sort of what area of your life things are happening in, but I don't necessarily offer direct guidance or what you should do or necessarily. It's more just illuminating and bringing light to things. I'm not sure if you're still there, LSD, but I will wait for you to post your details if you still wanted to have a look. If you've got permission, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Otherwise, I'm going to have a look at Fly's chart now, and we can always come back to you if you want. So Fly, if you wanted to post your date of birth, your birth time and location, you can do it here in chat, Whisper or Discord. If you do it in Whisper, we can keep your details private. It's up to you completely. And we can bring it up and have a look. Oh my gosh. Hello, baby. Okay. All right, just give me a moment and I'll bring up your chart. It'll just take me a minute because I'll just cut out your personal details as well. So it won't be a moment. Oh, thank you for the follow, Choc Mint. That's okay. Thank you. Everything in divine timing. Oh, Choc Mint. Yeah, sorry, I was just muting while I was typing. My keyboard's really clicky, so it can be like annoying when I'm putting in details for a birth chart. I will do your health feng shui tip right after this reading if you're still around. I would love to do that for you. Okay, so let's bring up your chart. I'll just save it and remove your details. Make sure I have them right first. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Of course I can wait. Know that I have very limited crystal collection. It'll have to be something practical and universal. That's fine. No worries. I've got lots of practical and universal things for you for health tips, so don't worry. Okay. So let me bring up your chart now. Okay, so first I like to start with someone's rising sign, because our rising sign is our identity, who we are, what we're here to sort of present to the world, the way people can sort of first see us, first impressions, can be our appearance, can be like the way we dress. Okay, so I was actually thinking about this earlier today, that I haven't had a rising Gemini for a little while. So there you go, here we go. I've attracted a rising Gemini person. So Flyery, I'm going to call you Fly. Fly, you're a Gemini rising. So a Gemini rising person is here, someone who's here to be a messenger. They're here to spread a message, to share information, to help others in some way, to like grow and learn. They're here to communicate, to write, to share in some way like that. They're someone who is can also be someone who gets along with many different types of people, or someone who has many different sides to themselves, or many different sides to their personality, or someone who's got two sides to their personality, and that could be two sides they show, or could be one side of themselves that they show to people and one side they don't show, that they keep secret. There's that duality there with Geminis, and it's in the sense of either two different sides or many different sides. Gemini rising person is usually someone that is quite intellectual, and can either talk a lot or write a lot. They're really good at like communicating information, and also processing information, and as well. And that's that messenger person. They're here to spread a message, share information. They're definitely here to spread a message, basically. So Now let's just look to the ruler of your first house just to understand a little bit more of that rising sign, especially because there's no planets in that rising, that first house or anything. So there's nothing that sort of changes that energy of that first house. Now, the rising sign being Mercury, your Mercury's up there in the 11th house. So that could possibly mean, yeah, someone that connects with a lot of different people, has a lot of different connections with people, or likes to connect with a lot of different people, has a lot of friendships or a lot of friendship circles. You've got Jupiter up there too, and also Venus there. So there could be some way that you like make money out in the world too by connecting with people, or by doing something bigger for a higher purpose as well, like for humanity or for the environment or for just people as a whole or a collective. It could be someone that also is quite inventive or comes up with like new unique ways of doing things, or does things in their own unique ways or something, or has their own unique ways of like writing or communicating or speaking. And there's someone that can speak, again, a messenger. So in the 11th house definitely enhances that messenger energy, someone that's here to like speak on a big level or to come up with some inventive idea that's going to help like humanity or help something big, or it's in the mind and it's that information and processing. So it's something in relation to that, and it's an Aries energy, so it's like that drive and that passion and that leadership energy and that taking action and doing something as well. So that 11th house is definitely someone that needs to take action in that area of life and strive for something bigger and for a higher purpose. So the moon, your sun is up there too in the 11th house. So 11th house sun person is definitely someone that needs to be out in the limelight, either out like in the social limelight, or like in front of like organizations or people. This could be like someone who's like the boss of like with that Aries energy there too, either a leader or a boss in some way, in the sun there, or shining a light in some way on others or something there out in the public, or out in like communities or organizations or big groups of people, in some way, someone that's like doing something there. That sun in that the sun is in Pisces though, so that speaks to someone who is either quite psychic or sensitive or intuitive, and can sort of sense and read people's energy as well. Maybe not read, but even like just sense and feel people's energy. Also, there can be someone that is quite psychic. Also someone who like might have an interest in like psychological things, or like the mind and stuff like that, and or spirituality or religion in some way. In like religion or something like that as well. A Pisces sun person is someone that can it's up there in the 11th house, so it's definitely like shining out there in the limelight, but Pisces people generally need that time to escape and get away and have their own time and space, because they're so sensitive. They can absorb everyone else's energies, and it can really drain them. So what else? Sun in Pisces person could be someone that is like maybe quite emotional too, because of that sensitivity. Could be someone that like has an interest in like fantasy, or reading like books and getting like swept away in them, or watching things that like a fantasy, or like dreamy in a way. Or could be someone that like either sleeps a lot or needs to do a lot of like meditation or something like that to keep their mind balanced, and from that also from like feeling so drained from like everyone's energy. They can really benefit from things like meditation as well. That sun there in the 11th house is definitely like someone who is here for something like bigger for a higher purpose, and like they probably feel that and know that, especially with that Pisces energy. It's like here for the collective, here for a higher consciousness, here to connect in some way. Having the sun up there and Mercury in the same house too could make for someone who's like quite expressive about who they are and what they're about, and isn't afraid to like show who they are and speak about who they are, or communicate in some way about themselves and what they've got to say and what they've got to share, and the information they have to give. Jupiter up there too, so it's definitely like very much a place for you to expand and grow and learn in like doing those things that are goal driven and like for a higher purpose and for humanity, or things that are like inventive or unique or different in some way that like, you know, aren't just from a selfish point of view necessarily. Moon. So we haven't looked at your moon. So your moon is down there in Libra, and it's in the 5th house. So a 5th house moon person is generally someone that can be quite in their heart, like they live from their heart, or they sort of not necessarily speak from their heart, but they're very much someone that's like in their heart space and isn't necessarily like egotistic in the way, I guess. Can be someone who's like quite playful, or someone that needs that play and that fun time to like really get in touch with their inner child, their emotional self, to like really feel in balance and tune into that. It could be someone that also has like a lot of like childhood friends maybe that they grew up with, or a lot of like social connections from or like or it's just someone that has like a lot to do with even like children or something like that, or has a lot of children of their own or something even maybe, as well, or finds that like they're quite nurturing to children, or they really like love children in some way. There's some kind of love there for like the relationships of like children, or childlike energy, or doesn't want to grow up and just wants to stay a child or something like that there. So also moon here in the 5th house. So moon in Libra person can sometimes appear cold, although you've got that Pisces energy there in the sun. The moon is in Libra, so it's making more intellectual and not so like expressive about your emotions and feelings. Maybe it's like you're more immature in that area of your emotions and feelings, so it's harder to express them as well. There could be something there about that. Yeah. Oh. Thank you for the tip. Okay, so so moon in the 5th house also could make someone like quite playful and quite fun, and like likes to do like more sort of childlike things, or that really like connects with like their inner child, stuff like that as well. That's like what they do for fun, something that like connects them with their roots and their childhood. So Okay, so we'll have a look and see where the eclipses are happening for you. So the eclipses are happening for you in your... first we'll look at the full moon eclipse in Gemini, which is happening on the 30th. So that's like either tomorrow or coming up in the next day or so, depending where you are in your time zone. And the full moon eclipse energy is where the north node is, and that's the energy we're heading towards, the direction we're heading in, what we need to be focusing on and paying attention to. And the south node, the opposite, is what we need to be leaving behind in Sagittarius and letting go of and releasing. It's what we've already mastered, what we've learned, the skills we've developed already, that we don't need to focus on anymore and learn and improve and grow anymore. We've done that. We can let go of like any beliefs that are holding us back, and also like patterns and things, stories and stuff like that. So for you, this is happening in your 7th house and also your 1st house. So we focus on first what you need to let go of and move away from, and basically this the eclipses bring breakthroughs, can bring transformation, can bring things in all of a sudden, unexpected things. They can cut things off, sever things from our life. It's a good time to like cut people out of our life. So for you, this is happening in the 7th house. 7th house is about relationships, and that can be business or love. So you're moving away from the need to be like focusing on your relationships and maybe to be caught up and swept in your relationships. There's a need for like freedom and moving away and being an individual and moving towards the self and focusing on that messenger energy and your purpose and what you're here to do in the world and to spread that light, and not focus on the relationships and the people that might be draining you or toxic in your life. There could be people or relationships that like cut out of your life over the next month and a half too, and this energy is going to go on for the next 6 months, but it's most intense over these next 3 months, and it's going to be making an aspect and passing over your Pluto too, which is like deep transformation and healing, and it's definitely birth, death and transformation. So it definitely could be for you releasing of a relationship that's no longer serving you, someone leaving your life all of a sudden, or you having to cut someone all of a sudden out of your life, someone that's toxic, someone that's not serving a purpose for you anymore, someone that's like got you stuck in old patterns or belief systems or old ways of thinking, old ways of doing and being that are no longer serving you, no longer helping you, that are sabotaging you or hindering you in some way. So yeah, you need to be releasing and letting go and cutting off of some kind of relationship. So you're moving towards, and the focus, especially in the next few days, is first, before you even cut off this relationship or this even happens, is your focus is going to be in that Gemini area, which is going to be about the self and who you are and what you want to do, and developing about like how you want to present yourself and what you're here to do in the world in a way. And it's very much based on self and who you are and what you're presenting and what you're putting out there. And as we spoke about, it's very much like the messenger energy, spreading a message, like information and knowledge, sharing and communicating, writing, all those Gemini, Mercury mind, communication sorts of things. So definitely the focus is on there and developing those and coming into the truth of yourself and who you are. And maybe you might receive some information or knowledge or something that helps you to develop that or get you on that path, or something that shines a light in that area of the self and who you are, so that you can step into the power of that and really like get on your path and get that message out that you need to share. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that helped you in some way. I hope that you enjoyed the reading and you benefited in some way, and thank you very much for letting me look at your chart. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's just a snapshot reading, just a quick look at the sun, moon and rising in a natal chart. And then we just have a quick look at where a transit is happening, and at the moment we're looking at eclipses. Yeah, we can do like way more deeper readings when we look at the birth chart and start to look at all the aspects, which are all those red and blue lines that are happening, and we start to look at progressions and transits and solar arcs, all different things that we can see what's happened in your life, what's going to happen, what you need to heal from, what you need to experience, what you need to grow from. We can look at relationships and all work, career, all sorts of different things when we delve deeper into a full reading, which I do. You can see the information below, but yeah, just so you know, it's just a snapshot of that. So yeah, thank you very much, Fly, and I appreciate you for being here. So thank you. Oh, thank you, Fly. I was hoping you were still here and you were just taking it all in. Yes, your tip. I would love to do that for you. Okay, let me bring up the Bagua and then we can explain that. So give me a second, chocolate mint. I'll bring that up. Okay. All right, let's bring up the Bagua and then we can explain. I had a look. It's where my bathroom is. Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, so your bathroom. Okay. Now, the bathroom can be a little bit different because we don't want to overdo it in the bathroom when it comes to decorating like we can in other areas of the house. Okay, now, all right, so just so everyone else is sort of aware too with Feng Shui, so we're looking at the main entrance of the house being the front door. Some people's front doors where the wisdom area is, some people it's where helpful people are, some people it's where the career area is. For some, the garage door might be on the left where wisdom is, some might be on the right where helpful people is, some it might be in the middle or whatever. So that's just an example of looking at the front of your house. And then the wealth, fame, and relationship areas, those purple, red, and pink at the back are the back end of your house. So like the top right corner of your house, at the far back right corner of your house when looking from the front door is your relationship and love sort of area. So, wait, lounge room. Oh, it's your lounge room? Okay. So health is the family. So when we're focusing on health, we want to look at family and the health sector. So we want to be looking at the green and the yellow. Health green. Yeah, so health is green and it's yellow. It's both areas. So we've got inner and outer health in both those areas. And the yellow is the center of the home, which is like our solar plexus. So it's like our physical strength, energy, and everything like that as well. Family's where the bathroom is. So it's both those areas of the home we want to improve with health. So what you need to be looking at is, one, keeping these areas clean and not cluttered. They need to be tidy. They need to be not messy. When we're talking about the bathroom, we don't want to be overdoing it with like colors and stuff like that. So where we would normally say, oh, put green in the room and make green things and make it real nature and nice and all that, we don't necessarily want to overdo it in the bathroom. You could just put a nice plant in there. Just a simple, nice plant or something like in there to bring in that earthy, that green energy, that woodiness, all that into that area. And the water is going to be good in that area because, like, naturally that area is water because it's the bathroom. And to enhance and increase that area, we're going to use that water from that area for something good to grow and blossom in that area, which is a plant. So a plant could be really good in there. Good though, I think crazy grass likes humidity. Cat grass, you could like do anything that's just like that green and earth, alive and earthy, and represents, so especially plants, they can represent like health. So having a healthy plant in there is going to enhance your health in there for sure. So also like doing healthy practices in these areas of the home too. So things like meditation, yoga, working out, anything that like balances your energy, Also like eating like healthy foods in these areas, like that's where you could go and eat like a salad or some like healthy veggies and stuff like that. Doing those healthy practices in those rooms, you could go in there and you could journal and you could write things that are helping the mind and the body at the same time, because you're getting it all out. It's anything of those healthy practices that you can think of that inspire you to do them in those rooms. Cabinet will be awesome. Yeah, definitely. So the yellow too, if that's not your bathroom, that's where you can definitely enhance the colors in that area. So putting yellow tones of things, putting things that represent like earthy things in there. It doesn't even necessarily have to be colors. Sometimes you can put like pictures or paintings or figurines and stuff like that in the areas. Anything that represents those earthy and yellow tones in those areas. It's also anything that represents health, like you could have a picture of a bowl of fruit or a fruit bowl in those areas or something like that as well. That's anything that's like that health. A cookbook on healthy eating, or it's those putting those healthy things in there. Anything that represents like health for you. It could be a medical encyclopedia or something like that of information that helps you, or it's something that enhances those like health things in that area. And again, it's so important to like keep it not cluttered and to keep it tidy so that chi and the energy and everything can flow through those rooms quite easily. That's doable. I keep a large green fluorite in the lounge room. Okay, awesome. Palm size, but it's something. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Yeah, again, a picture, a photo of something too can like help. Putting certain colors. Once you sort of like start to think about it, you can really get creative with ideas. So yeah, and like as I said, doing those healthy practices in those areas of the home too will definitely help. Because you're putting that healthy energy constantly into that area if you're doing those healthy things there, which will enhance that. It's like a room. If we like don't ever go into that room and we don't ever move the energy around in there, it just gets shut up and stuck and locked up all the time, then it's going to be stagnant and there's not going to be anything flowing and moving in there, and it's going to be forgotten and left behind and all that. The more we're moving the energy around and in there and using the space and helping the energy flow around and doing those healthy positive things in there and keeping the upbeat energy in that flowing in there in those areas, it's going to enhance those areas of our life. My desk is also near the center. It's in my bedroom, but right by the wall. Is your desk wood? That could be good if you've got a wood desk. So that could be, you could have some health books on health or something like that you read at your desk or that you sit there and do. Is something, anything to do with like health and healing and all that stuff that you do at your desk there is going to help with the health, and that's for that area of your life. It is almost all my furniture is real timber. Oh, that's really good. The other thing too is that you don't want to have the opposite in these rooms. So you don't want to have metal in here. You don't want to have fiery things. So you don't want to have like those red, deep, dark colors. You don't want to have those metal gray colors. You don't want to have items in your room that represent those elements either. So metal or hard, sharp objects. Things that are like of those nature. Yeah. So hard, sharp, metallic things. You don't want to have those sorts of things in those areas either. If you do, you can't help it, that's fine, but hide them or try and change them a bit or cover them with things or do something to like remedy them basically, or enhance the other things in the area so that they're not as noticeable. But certainly I can keep a health related tab open on my computer. Something like that would help, that's for sure, definitely. Oh, well, I hope that's helped you, Choc Mint. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You've been here for a while and been chatting. Thanks so much. If there's no one else, I'm just going to see if there's anyone else in the queue. If there's no one else that's in the queue, nope. I'm going to jump off and go so I can have something to eat and have a little break. And then I'm going to come back in. Okay, so, oh, Burak, TK, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So I'll be back in, all right, Shredder. So it is 3 to just over 3 to 3.5 hours time. I'll be back. And I'm going to, yes, we're going to raid someone, definitely. And I'm going to come back and do readings for each of the 12 signs for everyone to give a general overview of the week and the eclipses. So, yeah. You want a Feng Shui tip as well? I love one. Okay, so we'll quickly do love and then we'll work out who we're going to raid. I raided a star called Ash yesterday already. She's a new streamer, so we'll see who else is on here that we can raid. But first we'll do a quick love Feng Shui tip since you've claimed that, Choc Mint. So focusing on the far right corner of your home, love and partnerships there. So you want to be putting things that are like pink and loving and romantic in there. So one of the most important things, especially for men and even could be for women too, is to have that feminine energy in that room. You can't have dark colors. You can't have just masculine stuff in there. You've got to lighten it up and bring that feminine energy in there to attract that. You can put things like rose quartz crystals in there. You can put things like that represent like love and romance, whatever that means to you. You need to put things in there that are of two. So you can't have one pillow. You need to have 2 pillows. You need to have 2 candles, 2 bedside lamps. You don't have to have all these things, but you can't just have one. If you've got one of something, you need to have 2 of it or get rid of it, basically. You could have pictures of a picture of a couple, you know, or, you know, some kind of like picture or photo of like flowers and pretty things like that that bring that feminine energy in there. Or you could have fresh flowers in there all the time. But yeah, you need to be... I have a nice blue lamp, but I don't use it. Good, get it out of there, unless you've got 2 of them. Unless it's like in the corner or something, but like when we're talking about like bedside stuff, you need to be having 2 of things to be able to keep that energy flowing for 2 people to be in that space, basically. So pink earthy things. There's these little like rose quartz love birds you can get, these little figurines, and they're like super cute and super powerful Feng Shui tool for like attracting love. But you don't have to do that, but it's just representing like the love birds and having 2 of them and the rose quartz energy. So that's just an example, having something that represents love, a figurine. It could be a couple little figurine, or it could be a picture. You don't have to have that, but they're just examples of what you can have. Bringing in those pink colors, those like really nice warm tones into that room. I know it's hard for men, but you have to do something along these lines to attract in that energy, that feminine energy. You can't have that all that masculineness in there, basically. 2 rhubarbs, fidelity. And I'm not scared of femininity. Good. That's really good. Everyone's got a feminine and masculine side, whether we're male or female. So yeah, we shouldn't be afraid of either of them. We need to embrace them both. They help us in many different areas of life and empower us in different ways. And sometimes we bring out more of one side than the other when we're in different situations or different parts of our life. So, you know, someone can be super masculine in their career, super feminine and nurturing at home with their family. So, yeah. Okay, I hope that's helped you, Choc Mint, and I hope thank you everyone for being here. I hope it's helped everyone. We've dropped off a few viewers now, so it's not as many to raid with, but we will go anyway. So let's have a look and see who's on. I think we might just go to Star Called Ash again, which some of you already probably headed over there anyway. I'm not Mako either. What's Mako? Oh, masculine, sorry. I'm super masculine in public, super feminine at home. Oh, well, there you go. Macho. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be, yeah, super masculine or feminine all the time. It can be, you know, different areas of your life where you show it or whatever. So, yeah. So we'll go over to Star called Ash's channel and check out some tarot and get a reading from her. She's got such a nice, loving energy too. So yeah, she's really nice. So definitely check her out if you can. Oops.
And then I also use 2 Oracle decks as well. These are the 2. I definitely want to get more Oracle decks. This is from the same author and artist. But these were the first 2 that really called to me. I love them so much. And I always try to pull one for myself every day to kind of, you know, what should be my mantra for the day be. So, yes. That's a really good question, JD, though. Thank you for asking. Let's see. Alright, I don't think LSD ever came back, so I may just remove him from the thing. Thank you for the follow. That is awesome. Yeah, you don't want to waste that degree, and that's kind of how I'm feeling, right? Like I've especially right now, like I've stopped doing software development for 6 months now, and I'm just like, oh gosh, I'm not developing, I'm not writing code anymore. I'm gonna lose it, and I worked so hard to get it. So like, I totally get where you're coming from. Totally get it. You have the Starseed Oracle deck. Yes, I love it so much. All right. I'm gonna pull Ellis out. Autumn, you are next, my darling. And I want to hear about your altar. Like, do we follow each other on Instagram?